Hello everyone. Today, we are here to nourish the mind with wisdom, to strengthen the life element within us, so that we may awaken to the truth of the mind. We all have a mind, yet we do not truly know it, because no one has ever told us or taught us directly. As for myself, I no longer have any doubt about the mind. I have realized clearly that our true nature, the life element, is radiant, crystal clear, utterly pure, merging seamlessly with the infinite universe. It does not move, it does not come or go, it is never born, it never breaks apart. It is the immortal element, present here and now, always. I no longer feel that I am something. Even as I speak these words, there is no sense of I am speaking. What is happening now is not truly a voice, yet humans have given meaning to this phenomenon and called it sound. We then fabricate further, thinking, I am hearing sound, or I am the one speaking. All of this is mental construction that we have become entangled in. We inhabit this body and mistake it for ourselves, even though we are merely residing in it temporarily. To reside means that we, who are of a formless nature, have taken up this shaped vessel only for the single purpose of learning, to discover that we are the formless, empty, crystal clear, pure life element. We come to reside in the body, but this is only an outer shell. It is not truly ours. When this body breaks apart, we take up other forms: water creatures, land creatures, winged beings, beings underground, in the air, even in outer space. When one body dies, we search for another. And in every form, existence revolves around the same cycle: feeding and being fed upon, harming and being harmed, anger, hatred, vengeance. When they consume us, they hate us. When we consume them, they hate us. The body dies. We move on to another body, repeating the same loop again and again. Knowledge gained in one life, for example as an aquatic being, fades entirely with the body's death. Then, taking form as a creature underground, we learn the knowledge of that life, only for it too to vanish when that form dies. If we are reborn on land, we learn to survive in forests and plains as land creatures, but that knowledge also dissolves at death. Suppose we gain the form of a bird. We learn to soar in the sky and gather food there. But when that body perishes, even that knowledge fades away. The stream of existence drifts on, sometimes even beyond this world, into realms far away. To return again as a human being is extremely rare, for the chance of human birth is exceedingly small. Countless beings exist, an infinite number, waiting to be inhabited by mind. Yet human existence is but a tiny fraction of this vast cycle. This is why being born human is so difficult. We, who are the pure element, still lack true wisdom. We have not yet awakened to the fact that we are the pure element itself. Not knowing this, we continue seeking bodies, but no body in itself can awaken to the truth of mind. When we finally obtain a human form, we live no differently from other creatures, consuming, destroying, resenting, clinging. We fight over soil, over paper we call money, over stones we call gold and diamonds. We quarrel and kill for land, though land belongs to the earth, not to us. We fight over trees, though trees belong to the earth, not to us. Everything belongs to this world, yet we struggle to claim it as ours, or as belonging to our kin. From birth, no parents, no teachers have told us that we are the mind itself, the formless life element. We are the immortal element, empty, clear, and pure, merging as one with the universal essence. We only come to make use of this body. No one has ever taught us this. Even the voice that speaks right now is only a tool for communication. We merely borrow this voice to communicate. The voice that speaks within the mind, the thoughts that appear within. Can you see them? That voice is not truly ours. It is only a conditioned appearance. We are the formless, pure element. We make use of sound, but that means our true nature is soundless and without form. We also make use of mental images. Try recalling the face of your parents, your children, or a beloved animal. Can you see those images? Such images are just tools we borrow. Our true nature is beyond mental images, beyond sound. This is why we take up the body, so that we can think, imagine, and know. We also rely on emotions, pleasure, displeasure, neutrality, calm, happiness, sorrow. All of these are emotions, but they are not self. They are only borrowed. We are nature that has no emotion at all, vast emptiness, crystal clear, utterly pure. See clearly that these conditions arise on their own and dissolve on their own. Even memory remembers by itself. Awareness itself, the knowing of sound now. Do you notice? Hearing happens on its own, without effort. Smelling occurs when fragrance meets the senses. Sight arises on its own. Taste occurs by itself. The touch of cool or warm air against the skin. This too is known without intention. See that all of this is known naturally, by itself. Our true nature is beyond all these conditions. We only borrow these tools of body and mind in order to fabricate and learn that we are the pure element. If any parent or teacher in this world had taught us this truth, we would have long realized the immortal element, and we would never suffer again. We suffer because we cling to the belief that we are human, that our essence is human. Yet the mind, the life element, cannot be human. Picture it clearly. Pure emptiness, radiant clarity, cannot become a human being. The pure element, the original nature, cannot be human. Try this reflection. Erase the body, for it will soon die anyway. This body cannot last long. Our time is short. We must quickly realize the mind. Do not let the days and nights pass by in vain. What have we come here to seek? What do we truly want? We were not born merely to eat and then die. We were not born merely to learn about this world and then perish. Knowledge of the undersea, underground, the forests, the skies, the air, outer worlds, and other universes. None of this frees the mind from birth and death. The mind, our very essence, does not require such knowledge. We are the pure, radiant element. What we need is only one kind of knowledge, to know what we truly are. This alone is essential knowledge. It reveals that everything is not self. If we see that all is not self, even this voice is not us speaking, then we will be free. Voice cannot be grasped. It has no entity. Yet we suffer because of it. Mental images have no substance, yet we suffer because of them. Happiness, sorrow, neutrality, calm, all these are emotions, conditions of mind without self, and yet we drown in them. We want happiness and reject sorrow. We seek calm and resist restlessness. But all of these are nothing more than emotions, mere appearances of the mind. Memory simply performs its own function of remembering. Memory has no shape, no self, no entity. The act of knowing, this awareness, is a natural function happening continuously. Can you see? Hearing happens on its own. Smelling occurs by itself. Sight arises naturally. Taste is known. Touch is felt. Thoughts are known. Emotions are known, all by themselves, all the time. This knowing happens of its own nature, yet we become deluded, taking these conditions to be me and mine. That is why we suffer with what is known. The instant something is recognized, we sink into it, giving meaning, assigning value, and then we suffer because of that recognition. We suffer over memory. When it fails, we are distressed. When it succeeds, we feel glad. If a pleasing emotion arises, we rejoice. If displeasure arises, we suffer again. But notice, these conditions, pleasure, displeasure, all states of feeling, function on their own, arise on their own, dissolve on their own. There is no self in any of them. If this is seen clearly, suffering ceases. Suffering is gone completely. Freedom from suffering is permanent, just as I now experience. I suffer no more. In the past, I was no different from the rest of the world, immersed in suffering, desperate for a way out. But when I awakened inwardly, seeing these conditions as they truly are, seeing that even the voice speaking is not me, tears streamed down. This voice creates every story. It assigns names. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yet in reality, nothing declares itself as Monday or Tuesday. This voice says, that is a mango tree. But in truth, it is only an image appearing to awareness. The eye sees images, forms, colors. But those forms themselves do not declare what they are. Look carefully. They do not speak. It is only the inner voice that labels grass, tree, mountain, sky, man, woman, person, animal. The voice speaks. Now imagine, if there were no voice, erase the body, erase this voice, erase mental images, erase emotions completely, erase memory, erase even the act of knowing, what remains? Only vast emptiness, crystal clear, utterly pure. That is the original element. That is what we are. We are this pure element. To say it another way, we have been seeking something that has no true existence. We have been pursuing what we do not actually need. We have been chasing after things without real value. Do you see? This world has no true value for us. This body has no real value. The voice that speaks has no value. Mental images have no value. Emotions of every kind have no value. Memory, perception, knowing, all have no value. Why? On the day I turned back and awakened, there was a sudden realization. All knowledge shattered into fine fragments. Everything I described above exploded into pieces. At that moment, my mind broke free from attachment to these conditions. Once released, it merged seamlessly with the universal essence. What remained was only emptiness, radiant, pure, utterly pristine. We are that element, beyond words, without voice, without image, without emotion, without memory, without even the act of knowing, without form. It is the original essence, crystal clear, joyful, pure beyond measure, dissolved into all things, and free from even the tiniest speck of suffering. When this realization came, tears flowed. In the past, I clung to being human, to having family, parents, children, relatives. But when this knowledge shattered into pieces, I finally understood why we have been so blind, so deluded. When I awakened, I scolded myself. Oh, how could I have been so foolish? It was just this simple. It has been more than 10 years since I was freed from everything. What is being spoken here is not me speaking. Thoughts arise, emotions arise, awareness arises. Everything still appears just the same as it does for every human being. But there is no me within it. There is no me in this world at all. We are emptiness itself, merged seamlessly with the universal essence, the original element, the utterly pure element. This pure element has always been with us. There is no suffering here, only this presence. It simply waits for the body to break apart. When this body dies, there will be no more birth. Nothing remains to be reborn. It is clearly known. Ah, so this is what it means not to be born. This is what it means to be free from suffering forever. Then one wonders, why do we harm, kill, and destroy one another? Why do we fight for land, for water, for possessions? Why do we divide into this nation and that nation? In truth, we are all one. Do you realize? We are mind itself, the formless life element, empty, radiant, utterly pure. We are seamlessly one with the universal essence. All of us are truly one. We have never been divided into male and female. We are one. As an analogy, in the beginning, we were like water in the vast ocean, completely one. At a certain point, there was an explosion within that oneness of water. It is like the time when there was only emptiness before the first star appeared, when the vastness of the universal essence contained nothing. At that time, there was no universe. To call it universal essence is not quite accurate, because there was nothing to name. There was only purity, only the original essence. Let us for now call it the universal essence. Within that vast emptiness, without even a speck of dust, without stars, without darkness, without light, an eruption occurred. A great explosion arose from within the essence itself. This is what we call the Big Bang, a mighty burst. Energy, the essence itself, surged outward, condensing and interacting, giving rise to the tiniest particles. Tiny particles combined into dust, then gathered into stars, forming matter. All material elements arose from energy, which is the subtle, immaterial element. And this subtle energy itself emerged from the original element, the empty, radiant, utterly pure source. Science has not yet reached this point. It cannot be proven or measured by any instrument, nor calculated by any mathematical formula, because it does not require calculation. This knowledge transcends the logic that humans rely upon. At present, we operate by human logic. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 4. That is human reasoning. But in the realm of the pure element, the original source, 1 + 1 never becomes 2. 1 has no form, 2 has no form. When something without form combines with something else without form, no physical form can arise from it. What happens here is not a matter of shape or number, but the arising of conditions. This nature generates causes and conditions, bringing forth infinite possibilities. It creates energy, and that energy in turn produces matter, endlessly, without limit. Energy manifests in countless ways, without end. And all of this originates from the pure source. It is like the ocean as the original element. There was an eruption, boom, and from the ocean, droplets of water scattered outward. Imagine this, a tiny droplet flying out from the great sea. That droplet is the mind, the life element within us. These droplets, tiny drops of pure essence, scattered among countless material forms, infinite in number. Each droplet comes to dwell within a vessel. Some vessels are human, others animal. With a droplet dwelling inside, the vessel begins to live. Life arises. Beings come into existence in vast numbers, countless, infinite. Among them, humans are only a very small fraction. That droplet, the life element, is our true being. It has no form, nothing at all, only clarity and purity. Using the analogy of a droplet of water, when it enters a vessel, the vessel becomes animated, able to move, to sense, to think, to imagine. But the droplet is not the vessel. We are that droplet. When we reside in a vessel, we begin teaching one another, telling each other, we are human, but we can never truly be human. We only dwell here temporarily. It is like a cluster of energy residing in a machine. When energy enters a robot, the machine starts up. Its program begins to think, to imagine, to speak, to feel, to perceive, to remember. The program functions only because energy is dwelling within it. Then that program instructs the robot to move and act further. But once we come to dwell in this vessel, we become deluded and cling to the idea that we are human. Yet we cannot be human. We cannot be robots. We cannot be anything at all. We are the life element. We are energy itself. We are a droplet of water. This is the analogy. So why should we suffer over being human? Our role is only to keep this robot fueled, only to give this body food. The body needs only 1 meal a day to survive. Why eat excessively? If we overfeed it, its lifespan shortens. It is like fueling a robot that requires only 1 liter of oil, but is given 100 liters. The machine will break down quickly. And still, we fight over land. Yet we are only a single droplet dwelling in this vessel. Suppose we are a cluster of energy residing inside this robot. Why then do we fight over land? Why do we kill each other? We only inhabit this robot temporarily in order to learn that we are energy itself. We are not robots. We are not the program. The voice that speaks is just a program designed for communication within this robot. Because energy dwells within it, the program functions. That is why the voice can speak, why mental images can arise, why emotions can appear. Yet we cling, believing that we are the robot, believing that we are the voice. But this voice is not truly ours. It is only a phenomenon, just a program. It is as if we are a robot, but in truth, we are not robots, nor are we human. In this analogy, we are a pure cluster of energy, formless, radiant, utterly pure. When this pure element enters the robot, the machine starts up. Once it starts, the program begins to function. The voice speaks, mental images appear on its inner screen, sound is produced, emotions arise, happiness, sadness, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, calm, all because of the program. There is memory, there is perception, there are sensors to detect and respond. Then the program instructs the body, the robot, to act, to walk, to move, to live. But instead, we use this body to kill, to destroy, to fight for land, water, and air. We claim, this is my house, this is my city, this is my nation, this is my land. Yet in truth, we are the pure element, the cluster of energy, the droplet of water. We are not this robot. We do not own anything. Why not live together in harmony and peace? Why not speak only of the mind, of the pure life element? Instead, we speak only of suffering, of survival, of competing, of killing for paper. When we live in this robot, we imagine that paper is money, and then we fight over money, kill and destroy one another, working from morning until night, just to possess more paper. Yet this body, this robot, needs only 1 meal a day. Why struggle so much? Each mind is just a droplet of essence dwelling in a vessel. Father is one droplet. Mother is another droplet. Children, relatives, uncles, aunts, all are droplets. Every animal, too, is a droplet inhabiting a form. Each mind takes whatever vessel it happens to receive. Let me put it simply, in a way that is easy to understand without much thinking. Nothing is truly us. I am speaking this to give you wisdom, so that you may be free from suffering forever. But once we dwell in a vessel, we cling again, thinking we are the robot. We rely on this voice, and then believe that the voice is ours, that I am speaking. Yet it is not us speaking, and it is not even a true voice. It is only a program, one function of the mind. We borrow mental images, but we are not the images. Whatever is imagined, it is just its own activity. Do not suffer over emotions. Do not suffer over voices. Do not suffer over images. When joy arises, do not cling to it as our happiness. We have never possessed happiness. Happiness is only a function of this robot, working in its own way. And then, when sorrow comes, we fall into suffering again. Suppose we think, I want to go out. I don't want to stay home today. I want to go to the zoo. But if we cannot go, we suffer, we cry, we sink into sorrow. Wait a moment. Can a cluster of energy feel emotions? Can a single droplet of water have feelings? Number. Emotions are created by the program. The cluster of energy enters the robot and sends its power, enabling the program to function. From this, the program generates happiness and sorrow. Sorrow is just an emotion, arising because the program receives energy from us. When the program thinks, when it imagines, and things are not as it expected, then it produces emotions, sadness or joy. But joy and sorrow are not different in essence. Calmness or neutrality are also the same. All of this is just program activity, powered by us. We are the mind, the life element. When laughter arises, let it laugh. Do not cling as though we are the one laughing. When sorrow arises, simply recognize, this is sorrow, and let it be. Do not cling to that emotion. Then the emotion will dissolve on its own. All that is needed is for us to see that emotions function on their own. A feeling arises, expresses itself in a certain way, and then dissolves. When we once felt deep sorrow, where is that sorrow now? When we once felt intense happiness, where is that happiness now? When we thought so much that it almost drove us insane, where are those thoughts now? Right now, you are aware of my voice. Do you see? Awareness happens on its own. You never had to train yourself to be aware. It simply recognizes the voice already. As you walk and a scent reaches you, must you train to smell? Number. The scent is detected on its own. Awareness happens naturally. The moment there is perception, emotion arises instantly. A pleasant smell appears, and satisfaction arises automatically, then fades. A foul smell comes, and displeasure arises again. Can you see emotions? They appear by themselves and dissolve by themselves. Smells strike the senses on their own, are known on their own, and dissolve on their own. Do you see how the program of this robot works? I use this analogy of a robot with programs so that I can explain it in a way humans can understand. I want to tell you, do not suffer over anything. This body, this robot, is not truly our body. We are not this robot. We are the life element, empty, radiant, pure, like a droplet of water splashing from the ocean. One droplet is the life element. It separates, just as in the beginning of the Big Bang, when emptiness erupted. The mass of energy that burst forth, that is like our life element, scattered outward. We are that empty, clear essence that is still one with the vast emptiness of the universe, yet has splashed into this vessel like a droplet of water. On the day I turned back and awakened within, I observed inwardly. I saw the inner voice thinking by itself. The voice that speaks in the mind thinks by itself, imagines by itself, feels emotions by itself, and is aware by itself. I kept seeing this again and again, until understanding arose. It is all functioning on its own. Where then is the me? When I saw this process clearly, saw that there was no self at all, I questioned it deeply, watched it continuously, until the sense of me shattered into fragments. All knowledge, all the inner voice and thoughts, all mental images, emotions, and perception, these are merely functions. When seen as not self, without any owner, it all burst apart into nothingness. Boom. It is like this analogy. We are emptiness itself. But when we could not yet learn or experience, We created fabrications to wrap around ourselves. We formed a membrane, like a bubble, enclosing us. When we created this thin film of perception, this bubble, it enclosed us. Pop. From then on, whenever something strikes the bubble, it vibrates, producing fabrication, sound, image, emotion, memory, and awareness. Thus, emptiness became divided. At first, it was entirely one with the universal essence, but once fabrication arose, thought, imagination, emotion, perception, we wrapped ourselves within it. We then believed, I am the one thinking, I am the one imagining, I am the one feeling happiness or sorrow, I am the one who knows. The very moment we cling to these processes as self, we have created the bubble, what can be called the form of a spiritual self. We fabricate a spiritual shell to enclose ourselves. This bubble of fabrication covers us, separating us from the emptiness that is one with the universal essence. Wrapped in this fabrication, we rely on the bubble to move. Originally, there was no movement. In emptiness, there is no motion, no birth, no death, no coming or going, no darkness or light, no merit or sin, no good or evil. It is the immortal element, timeless, boundless, one with all things. But once covered by fabrication, because of our need to learn, we drifted away, moving into various vessels, as aquatic beings, land creatures, birds, underground beings, or humans. Once we reside in this human vessel, this robot, we mistake it for ourselves. It is as if we put on another layer, a second suit, one subtle, one coarse. The subtle layer is the bubble we created to wrap ourselves, thoughts, imagination, emotions, perception. Let us call this the subtle body. We created the subtle body to enclose us, and then moved on to inhabit the coarse body, the human body, or animal body. From there we became entangled in the struggle for survival, feeding and maintaining the body. But maintaining the body, however well, is always in vain. Whether we care for it excellently or poorly, the body ends in death all the same. As long as we have not realized the mind, as long as we do not know that we are the formless life element, empty, radiant, and utterly pure, then life ends in vain. What are we searching for? Why were we born? Have you ever asked yourself this? What do we truly want? Have you ever heard that inner question? I have asked myself this since childhood. I sought everywhere, tried everything, yet still the question remained. What is it that we really want? I only knew that what I found was not what I was seeking, until the day I awakened to the mind. In that moment, everything, all knowledge, all understanding I once thought belonged to being human, shattered into fragments. It was like a bubble bursting. Bang! On the day I saw clearly that the bubble was not me, awareness revealed itself as happening on its own. It was not me who knew. Knowing happened by itself. Where then was the self? When I questioned deeply, suddenly the mind itself answered, Flash, there is no self at all. And it exploded into fine fragments. Then I saw that our essence is a clear radiance, merging into the entire universe. We are emptiness itself, crystal clear, utterly pure. Once the bubble bursts, no fabrication remains, no sense of I am remains. Knowing continues, but it is no longer me who knows. The voice is not my voice. Images are not my images. Emotions, joy, sorrow, calm, or anything else are not me. Memory is not mine. Understanding is not mine. Even the doubt that arises is not me. Even the sense of, now I understand, that too is not me. All of these are merely conditions, processes functioning by themselves. When awakening came, the bubble burst, bang, and all merged seamlessly into the universal essence. In that moment, it was wondrous, beyond measure. Tears flowed. I scolded myself. How could I have been so blind? It was this simple. It was as though I had been deceived into believing I was human, because no one had ever taught me otherwise. Tears fell, full of compassion. Why has no one taught this? I felt deep compassion for all beings, for every mind on this planet. So I made a solemn vow. Let every mind across the infinite cosmos, down to every atom and subatomic particle, be witness. From this moment, I will dedicate myself to guiding beings, uplifting every mind to awaken, to be free from the cycle of birth and death, never to be born again. I will guide every mind back home, back to the pure original essence. We shall not be born again. I will proclaim the knowledge of awakening to all people in this world. I will speak only of the mind, of the absence of self in every fabrication. I will speak so that all may realize in every aspect. I will point clearly so that all may see that suffering has never truly had a self. Let us not sink into sorrow or cling to happiness. Every state of suffering, every fabrication, all of it has never possessed a self at all. On the day we awaken to the pure element, we will realize that all things dissolve completely, vanishing without remainder. It is as though we return to the zero dimension. We are that pure element, the zero element. Yet, we have created dimensions of energy, dimensions of voice, of distance, of time, of mental images, emotions, perceptions, and memory. All these dimensions we ourselves have constructed. This is the subtle dimension, the realm of the subtle body, the ethereal form. Then we created another dimension called the three-dimensional world, the coarse body, appearing as beings, as matter, as stars, suns, black holes, dust, darkness, and light. We have created all things. The entire universe arises from the original element that we truly are. When I turned back against the stream and awakened within, I saw these manifestations. I saw that the dimension of form is not us. The dimension of fabrication that appears as voice, as images, as emotions, as the act of knowing, as time and distance. These dimensions of fabrication, subtle and refined, of darkness and light, I saw them all dissolve and shatter, leaving no dimensions at all. What remains is only the pure element, the zero dimension, the zero element, the deathless element. Nothing exists within it. In the very substance of this pure element, there is no suffering, and we are all of one essence. It is like this. Upon awakening, boom, a single drop of water that had splashed into the vessel of a human body, or the vessel of an animal body, now returns to the great ocean. Imagine placing a single drop into the vast sea. What happens? It merges completely, inseparably, until there is no way to point to me or mine. The sense of self cannot be found. There is only the pure element, merged into one. The water becomes one with the entire ocean. If asked, where is the self? The answer is, the self is the ocean itself. Within the ocean, countless beings dwell, yet whatever lives within it, even waves themselves, has nothing to do with the water. Whether fish or plants inhabit the sea, whether there are millions of species, whether waves rise and fall, all are but dependents of the ocean. We are the water of the ocean. Creatures are born and die within it, but the water has never been born, never dies. Plants, trees, and living things arise and pass away within the sea, countless millions of times. Yet the water of the ocean is never born and never dies. The creatures in the ocean may experience happiness or suffering, may fight, destroy, or devour one another. Yet in the end, they all dissolve, leaving nothing real. They may quarrel, kill, and then vanish. They may love, cling to each other, reproduce, and then dissolve away. Everything arises within the water and fades away. But the water never hates, never loves, never belongs to a family. The water of the ocean has no children, no descendants, no involvement at all with the stories of the beings that dwell within it. The plants that live in the ocean, and the countless creatures, an infinity of beings dwelling there, are always moving. They may kill and consume one another, destroy, love, reproduce, fight, quarrel, grow angry, harbor hatred, or live in endless turmoil of happiness and suffering. Yet the water of the ocean knows nothing of it at all. While the sea creatures rage and take vengeance against each other, the water remains completely uninvolved. We are this pure element. When happiness arises, it dissolves. Our mind, the formless life element, empty, clear, and pure, has never been anything at all. It has never been happy, never been sad, never had form, voice, meaning, good or evil. It is the original element. We are this empty, radiant life element that generates appearances of knowing. But those appearances are only ripples within the pure emptiness. Voice itself is only a ripple within that pure emptiness. Just as sea creatures move within the ocean, whether swiftly or slowly, it has nothing to do with the water. Whether emotions of hatred are fierce, or whether love is tender and overwhelming, the water of the ocean remains untouched. Whoever understands this will be freed from suffering once and for all. For a wise one, hearing only this is enough. Boom, tears fall, and it is finished. But for those who hear and remain confused, unable to grasp the essence, they may only think they understand. That kind of understanding does not bring tears, does not bring a breakthrough. It is still not it. The knowing must sink deeply into the heart, until the heart itself, the empty pure life element, awakens and bursts open. In that instant of realization, spark, tears flow. One knows there is no self at all, and even in the very act of crying one sees, it is not me who cries. Even the clarity of freedom from doubt is not me. What remains is only pure emptiness, radiant and clear, filled with appearances that belong to no one. It is like this. We are emptiness itself, yet we have mistaken ourselves for bubbles. It is as if we are the seed of an avocado, yet we deludedly believe we are the flesh of the avocado. And not only that, we even cling to being the skin. When a sage points out that whether the avocado's skin is beautiful or not, it is not us, and asks, why be so concerned about this skin? We may be startled and ask, then where is the self? The sage replies, try peeling it away and see. It is not you. So let us trust this. The body is not us. By listening and observing, we see that the body arises because thought itself imagines it so. Left leg, right leg, thumb, index finger, middle finger, flesh, skin, hands, arms. Look at these things. Do they speak and call themselves by name? Only the voice in the mind speaks. Whoever sees this, tears fall. The breakthrough comes. Rejoice. Everything in this world, even father and mother, are nothing more than thoughts we ourselves create. They are voices speaking in the mind all the time. The inner voice invents every story, yet even this very voice that speaks now has no real existence. It is only a borrowed sound, used to tell us that voice itself does not truly exist. And what knows, this knowing, belongs to no one. It knows by itself. It understands by itself. When that understanding deepens until it reaches the heart, until the mind bursts open and accepts fully that there is no self, then it explodes. Tears fall, lightness and release arise. At that moment, we merge as one with the entire universe, with no trace of me remaining. Even the feeling that I am the one speaking these words vanishes. There is no sense of ownership of the voice, The voice and the knowing no longer cling, no longer connect. They are separate. It is like realizing we are water itself. Whatever creatures may live in water, however they change, quarrel, hate, kill, love, or unite, we are untouched. Whether beings are born or die within it, we are no longer involved, because none of it is real for us. The voice that ripples within emptiness is not us. Just like the emptiness before us now, it contains oxygen, carbon dioxide, positive and negative ions, pure air, polluted air, coolness, heat, wholesome and unwholesome qualities, all arise within emptiness. Yet emptiness itself is unmoved, uninvolved. Air may fluctuate, turn good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, refined or coarse, cold or hot. These are all conditions that dwell within emptiness, forms of energy. But in emptiness itself, there is nothing, only purity. It is the ground, the origin, the base upon which all phenomena exist. Darkness rests in this clear emptiness. Light rests in this clear emptiness. All matter exists in this clear emptiness. Sunlight itself shines within it. Black holes dwell within it. All things arise, appear, and dissolve back into this pure emptiness. Even if an atomic bomb were detonated before our eyes, before our hearts, shattering this body into particles, the mind would never be touched. It remains empty, radiant, pure. So why do we suffer over anything at all? We did not come into this life to suffer over anything. We came only to temporarily dwell in this vessel, borrowing voice for a time, borrowing mental images for a time, borrowing emotions for a time, borrowing the act of knowing for a time, for one purpose alone, to realize that we are the pure element. When we know that we are the pure element, empty, clear, the formless life element, then nothing more needs to be done. There is no more suffering. Whenever this body breaks apart and dies, there is no sorrow. Even if struck with cancer, there is no sorrow. Whatever illness comes, there is no sorrow. Even in speaking these words, there is no sense of ownership that I am speaking. It is seen clearly that this is not the voice. Let us see it. This is not voice. It thinks on its own, speaks on its own, continuously, with no me in it. Suddenly, it thinks, today is the dentist appointment. I must go for a checkup, for scaling. This thought arises by itself. Sitting at home by the window, looking out and seeing this and that, it sees by itself. Then the thought comes, ah, the dentist appointment. I must go. What time is it now? Almost time. See the voice speaking like this, and do not take it as real. Can we see? Then another thought arises. Let me take a shower first. The thought says, let's shower first. And so the body rises, walks, removes clothes, enters the bathroom, and bathes. When water touches the skin, sensation arises. Can we see that the feeling arises by itself? It senses wetness or coolness. When the shower ends, there is a feeling of freshness. Can we see that freshness arises by itself? Then dressing up, another thought comes. After the dentist, let's stop for pizza. Another thought. Yet at this moment, we have not gone anywhere, still at home, but the mind has already fabricated the future. Can we see that these thoughts have no true existence? Can we see that the inner voice speaking has no real existence? It cannot be grasped. Then, having decided, I'll go buy pizza, we step outside. Suddenly thunder roars, rumble, and lightning crashes, boom, right at the gate where a tree stands. It explodes and burns. Instantly, we are startled. Can we train ourselves to be startled? Or does the startle arise on its own? See, it startles by itself. Startled, the voice cries out, oh no, oh, Can we see it speaking like that? Can we see the emotion of fear, the trembling, the astonishment, the sense of wonder? Can we see our own emotions? Right now it is fabricating, surging. Then the voice shouts again, "Oh my goodness! How can it be so strong?" Can we see the voice speaking like this? If we see clearly that it speaks by itself, feels by itself, startles by itself, then, there is no me at all. The very moment this is seen, everything is finished. A sudden breakthrough bursts open, shattering into fine clarity, and we realize that we are the pure element. There remains no sense of being human. We see that nature functions by itself, and in that moment, liberation from suffering becomes permanent. When we see that we are the mind, the formless, clear, pure life element, the pure essence itself, we cannot help but weep. We tell ourselves, why have I clung to illusions for so long? Why did I believe all these things were real? Then tears may flow for 1 day, 2 days, even 3 days, until the heart is cleansed. Whoever listens deeply to these words will feel light, at ease, living life effortlessly, because there is no self in any condition or in any body. We are the formless, clear, pure life element, like a sphere of energy merely inhabiting a robot. The robot runs its own program. We are not involved at all. It is like sitting and watching a movie. The body, like an actor on screen, plays its part. The story unfolds by itself. Characters think good thoughts or bad thoughts, imagine this and that, feel joy, sorrow, neutrality. They perceive and remember, sometimes clearly, sometimes not. But as we watch, do we ever notice? We are not the hero. We are not the heroine. We are not any characters at all. There is no need to cry or to become entangled in their drama. Can we feel this? That we are not involved in the movie at all? If awareness deepens even further, we may realize, even the one who seems to sit in the theater watching, that too is not us. At first we thought, the movie is not us. The hero and heroine are not us. But then we see, the one sitting in the cinema, watching, that also is not us. Whoever sees this, finished. Right now, knowing my voice is like someone sitting and watching a film. The thoughts speaking in the mind, the mental images, the emotions that appear, these are the scenes on the screen. If we see the voice in the mind as the movie screen, speaking this and that, imagining here and there, showing pictures, voices, and feelings, it becomes clear. These are only stories in the movie. Observing inwardly, we see them moving like actors in a play. Watching more and more deeply, we realize, they are not us. They are only what is known. And then we ask, does it know by itself, or do we intentionally make it known? Look closely, it knows by itself. When walking, it knows sights and sounds by itself. The sound of cars is heard by itself. Scents arise by themselves. Vision appears by itself. Emotions arise. Thoughts and images appear. Knowing happens by itself. If we observe and see, it knows by itself. It is like realizing that even the one sitting in the cinema watching the film is not us. Then where is the self in all of this? Boom, an explosion of awakening. We startled and awakened. It was all a dream. Tears fall. For so long we believed we were truly human, with real stories, truly practicing to end suffering through walking, sitting, ascetic effort. But when we awakened to the truth, we see it was only a dream. It is finished. When I awakened, it shattered into the finest fragments, and then I knew, even knowing is not me. Even this understanding is not me. Nothing can be clung to, nothing can be done. Only purity remains here. No self at all, just pure, unconditioned purity. This is our true nature. a purity beyond words, beyond the label of I. We are the formless, crystal clear, utterly pure life element. Awaken to the mind, to this life element within us. Everyone, whether child or elder, disabled or strong, woman or man, of any age, faith, religion or nation, everyone has a mind, and everyone can awaken to it. Then none of us will suffer again. The world will move toward the essence of peace. People will live together in harmony, without harming, killing, or destroying, because there is nothing that is self at all. What is there to seek? If nothing is me, then what is there to fight for? This body is not us. Why suffer over it? It is like a dream, and why be entangled with dreams? Stories of family, relatives, thoughts, emotions, knowledge, all the vast tales of the dream world, none of them have true existence. They are only dreams. This is exactly how it was on the day I awakened. I stepped out of the layered worlds of dimensions, out of the dimension of body, out of the dimension of thought, memory, and feeling, out of the dimension of fabrication altogether. By listening again and again, understanding deeply until the mind accepts this truth, it will release itself from the fabricated world. The bubble will burst, boom, and we will know we are the life element that pervades the entire cosmos, as I have seen. From then on, no more suffering, only the proclamation of this truth to all people on earth. So, share this knowledge. Spread this knowledge through the 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙬 channel. Let everyone in the world learn the science of awakening to the mind. Let us all speak only of this knowledge of awakening. Let each one enter into their own pure essence, and then none of us will suffer again. We will dwell above the world, above all suffering. This will be our final birth. We have arrived home, O minds. Let us end here. May all of you who incline your hearts to listen, awaken swiftly and directly to the pure element, the formless, crystal clear, utterly pure life element. May every one of you, all beings, realize this without delay. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.